What's going on,
What's up,
everyone?
everybody?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Another weekend, and it's Memorial Day weekend. And the first thing, as you saw right on our page, a huge shout out to all the people currently serving in the military. Also, rest in peace, the true heroes of this United States.
Let's put it just like this. This isn't a long weekend to celebrate. This is a long weekend to thank all those who have served and who have lost their lives to fight so you can go on the grill. You can drink that ice cold beverage.
Yep. We thank them all so much. And, to all those currently serving, thank you for what you do.
Yes.
So welcome to All Things Paranormal, two boys.
Can you hear about this guest?
Yeah.
Did you hear about her?
Yeah. I mean, it's been posted all over the place. We have one of the best joining us tonight. Yeah. She's like a sister to us.
Yeah.
We absolutely love her. Her name's Dani Marie. We're going to be bringing her on.
She says that your boy here is good at reading cards.
Yeah, I don't know where you pulled that out of your ass. That was incredible. Good job on that. Yeah, so let's get ready. Let's bring on Dani to the stage.
Should we bring her on?
I think we should. Yeah, I think so. I think it's time.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's bring her on. Yep. What's going on? There it is. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. We have a storm going on here right now, so we're having a little connection issues. Never a dull moment with us.
Look at what's up, Get Haunted.
Oh yeah, we have several people joining.
Hey.
What's going on, Andrew?
Big Daddy. Hey, Big Daddy, I'm running low on that apple juice.
We got Get Haunted. It's got to be either Sarah or Sarah Rob.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me on. I was so excited, and you guys are brothers to me, so this is phenomenal, and it's such an honor. Thank you.
No problem. Well, thank you so much. Like we said, you're like a sister to us too. So, and Damien stopped in. What's going on, Damien?
What's up?
So, big news. Show's coming back on June 1st. That's awesome.
I am so excited. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing with Divination with Dani. And, I kind of retired it thinking, maybe it's time to hang up the hat. But I missed everyone and I missed reading for everybody. And part of creating Divination with Dani was actually to facilitate my own tarot journey, right? For me to learn with everybody. And, along the way, have people give me either advice or some like, hey, why don't you look into this or that? And it had to come back. I missed it so much. So I'm really excited. June 1st, it comes back, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch it on the Get Haunted Paranormal podcast program. And it's just
maybe we'll be special enough to be on her show one day.
All of a sudden, he's got this amazing skill that I've never even seen you do before.
I do not have a skill. I don't know what you people were dreaming of.
Here's the thing. For everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Get Haunted had this amazing event. It was Shadows and Shutters event, right? And we had it was a photo studio. So we had Dangerous Design come in, do photos. And so while everyone was going up to the second floor to get their headshots and their photos done, I was there as Divination with Dani, just doing a little bit of tarot reading, but I was having everybody else do the readings, right? So I was having everyone pick a card, and then they were going around the group and they were trying to figure out, like what they saw. It was basically like it was learning how to tap into your intuition, how to read the symbols, and like what called to you versus what the actual definitions are. And Adam, I have no idea where your skill set came from, but you were just every single card, you were nailing it. And not even just, it means this. You would go into why you saw it, and it was touching on things for people, and they were just blown away. And honestly, if you'd want to be a tarot card reader, you'd be really good at it.
I mean,
my cards that you gave me are in my truck.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, you gave me one too. I have a pack too.
They stay in my truck.
But it was the funniest thing because Stephen Kometz from Digging Deeper Paranormal was there too, and he was sitting on the chair next to me. He looks at me, he goes, "Did you know he can do this?" I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never seen Adam." I'm like, wait, I was so mind blown that I have no idea what was even going on.
Oh, he did so good.
Yeah.
And it was like coming out of nowhere. It was like he literally had, like everyone tries to tap into that higher self, tries to tap into that intuition. He was there. He was flowing. It, no matter what, like you were just, and it was very heartfelt too. Like everything that you said, you had a lot of there was a lot of meaning and a lot of feeling even for you through it. So it was really nice to see it. It actually helped connect with people because it was that energy, Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does because this past year has been rough. A lot happened. Actually, today marks the year anniversary, the fire at my house.
Oh, geez. Oh man,
a year. Year today.
Oh.
At 12:30 in the morning is when my neighbor was pounding on my door, which thank you for my neighbors because they saved mine, my wife, and my son's life because we were sleeping. But anyways, and then, with, my mom dying last year, I don't know if that's where it came from, but like I was actually told Mike, I was like, man, I'm glad we're going on this little surprise trip.
Well, yeah, that was his birthday present. I got
it was a surprise trip.
It was last minute. I asked his wife if he had anything going on that weekend. She goes, no. I said, okay, well, don't tell him. I didn't tell him where we were going or what we were doing.
But I literally got in the truck and I was like, dude, I am so glad. I don't care if we go sit at a park and watch birds fly. Like, I just need to get away. Like, I was in a rough thought of mine. So I don't know if that's what helped, but
I don't know. You got pretty deep with it. That was incredible.
Yeah. You did. You got really
that was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just another reason why Dani is amazing.
Yeah. No, she really is. You got an amazing skill there.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing the tarot card reading?
Well, that's the funny thing. So I actually had gotten my first deck I ever got was from my godmother when I was about 15. It could have been a little bit younger or older, but it was like around 15. It's so long ago. I'm 41 now. I can't remember freaking yesterday, but around like 15.
I can't remember this morning.
Yeah, same, bro. Same. But no, so I got my first deck at 15 and I was so excited, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, here's this deck. And so like, where I grew up was very I don't know if you would call it Catholic, like central, like there was a lot of like religion played a big part for a lot of people in our area. So like divination tools are kind of a no-no, right? So it was just this amazing taboo gift to have gotten at 15 years old, right? So I like wanted to dive into it. I was so excited. And then I was like, am I allowed to curse on here?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I was like, oh,
fuck
shit.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, there's 78 cards, right? And every card has a meaning. And I'm like, oh, I have to memorize 78 cards, right? So fumbled through that for a while. And then in my learning journey, probably like in my 20s, I started like every time I would pull cards for myself, because like they say, like one of the easiest ways for you to learn is like you pull a card every morning for yourself and like you journal and just kind of vibe out, right? Like if what you're feeling works with the definition. And I was pulling like what in that moment I thought were like super scary cards. Like I'd be pulling the Tower almost every other day, or like the 10 of Swords, and they're like super scary cards, right? Like the 10 of Swords is like all of these swords in someone's back and he's like face down in the mud. The Tower is this tower that's being struck by lightning, and just like people are falling out of it, it's on flames. And these are just the funny thing with tarot, which I learned much later on, right? Is that it's just giving you a heads up that, hey, maybe there's something you kind of want to look at and maybe just adjust it a little bit, right? Not necessarily as scary as it looks. But so like in my early 20s, I kind of put my decks away because I was scared. I was like, why am I always pulling these horrible cards? I had a lot going on in my life. I was definitely going down a path that I wouldn't say was very kosher. So I got my act together, got my life together, and things with tarot, like people would be talking about it like randomly in like a conversation with friends, or I would go to the movies and there'd be something with tarot. Like it just started popping up everywhere in my life again. And then funny enough, I was at the job I have now. At one point, we were allowed to do overtime in different departments. So I was doing overtime in a different department, and this one girl, she did like psychic readings on the side, right? And we're sitting there, and we're just talking, and she's talking about, you know, like how she books her clients and stuff. And then all of a sudden, she just stops, and she's like, "You're supposed to do something with tarot." And I'm like, "Wow, well, that's random." But like all these little signs are popping up again. So I picked the decks back up, and it wasn't until very recently, actually, when I started The Awakening with Dee Dee is actually when I really was like, I need to do more with this, because that show was Dee Dee did the dream interpretation and I did tarot, which was like my way of kicking my butt into like doing a little bit more with it, right? Because I can sit at home and I can pull cards for myself all day long, but like it's not really helping growth, you know? So yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so just recently got really serious into it, and started doing some readings for friends on the side. And when I bring June 1st, things are going to get a little different, a little bit more fluid. I feel like I was too structured before, so we're just kind of like flow with things, see where readings go, see what I can bring into like new frameworks for readings. But it's kind of been one of those things that's been in the background for me since I was a teenager, and just as I got older, as I realized it's literally just a way to talk to yourself. It's to your higher self, to your intuition. So yeah, it's more and more. It's become a part of my life on a daily now.
That's incredible. It's like I remember. I think you still do it every morning on Facebook too. You'll pull cards, and it's amazing how many people will comment and connect to those cards that you pull too.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. And I always thought, okay, like people don't really look at these. I was like, should I just stop? And then like, well, when I had stopped for that little bit, when I was trying to figure my own stuff out, I actually had a couple people from my work, from my day job, walk up to me. And they're like, what happened to your tarot? And I was like, oh, you actually looked at those. They're like, we looked at them every morning. Like, where'd they go? So yeah, even when people aren't commenting, even when they aren't liking it or anything, like there are still people that look for it every morning. And that was it was nice. A little bit of an inspiration to keep going for me.
Yeah. I remember every morning. It was like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I used to jump on quick before work. I'm like, there's her pull. This is awesome.
I get up like.
It wasn't that early for me, but I'd be driving and I'd sit at a traffic jam on I-95 in Connecticut because Connecticut people suck and can't drive. So sorry for all Connecticut people. Actually, no, I'm not. But I'd be sitting there and be like, "Oh, look, Danny's. Let's see." And I think of like, what does that card mean?
And then you have Rob who does twisted ones, and I'm Mr. Six now. No,
I was going to say you got your nickname. I hope that he brings that back at some point.
I hope so too. Right? He should do a special just doing that
on our show.
What's crazy is Rob can legit read tarot. He's really good at it, actually. And it was just fun for him to do the twisted part of it. And then,
I say you pull some cards for me real quick.
I was going to say, if you want, we'll do some readings.
You want me to pull some cards? I can do that.
Yeah.
You do me, and then you do Mike. Oh, or great. Other ways.
Do Adam first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to see what Adam gets first.
And we'll see when you do Mike, you hold the card up, and then I'll.
You're gonna read for Mike?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, so he's gonna read. I'm gonna pull the cards, and Adam's gonna read them. Is that how we're doing?
That's great.
Well, I can't read myself.
I'll read yours, but yeah, you read Mike's.
I'm gonna read Mike, and then you see if I'm right.
Oh, I like this. You're gonna be right. Dude, were you not? You were there for Shadows and Shudders, were you not? You were just on top of all of it.
I was in La La Land. No, I'm just kidding.
Is this? I have orbs every night.
No.
Oh, no, you know how nice is that though? To know that you have
right?
people that were in your life that are there to protect you and watch over you.
Yeah.
Damien wants a special guest. We need little Annabelle.
Oh my gosh. Once you guys talk her over really nicely, maybe he'll bring her in. Okay, let's see. I need one more. Well, there's a lot of pentacles. So pentacles are this is what the pentacles look like, right? They're the little circles with the stars, they look like coins. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, you've got the Page of Pentacles, and you've also got is that 6? That's the 6 of Pentacles, right? So when I'm looking at these, this is almost like finding your footing, right? Like what I'm seeing is like you're getting comfortable either with a situation or with the idea of stepping into a bigger situation. This could be to do with money, or this could be to do with just like anything with like earth, like grounding, like trying to just like make yourself feel more secure. The good thing here is that because you're becoming more secure, like secure with the feeling of either you're in a good spot or you're secure with moving into a good spot, you're in this place of sowing the seeds for a really good future. Like these are the moments where like all of that energy that you put into just really just like the warm fuzzies of being secure, right? Like if you can look into the future and think this is going to be amazing, I've got this, everything's going to work out really good. Like that's planting all those little positive seeds, right? That's going to build a really rich foundation. And you're coming into a moment where you may have needed to reach out for help at some point. You're going to like, the scales are going to, they're going to rebalance a little bit. You're going to be able to give back where you couldn't before and vice versa. So there's going to be this really nice, just like, I just want to say balance. Like the word balance keeps coming to mind when I see this, because this is a card of charity, right? This is like where you can give, where if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help kind of a situation. And it balances itself out. So I don't know if any of that makes sense to you at all. And if it doesn't, we can pull another card.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, so recently, actually at the event where I was telling you, I had another job opportunity where I was afraid to take, and I stepped in to take it and I didn't get it. And I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable where I work. But I want more for me and my family. I want to be able to help because with 2 brothers, Mike pays for a lot because I don't have a lot of extra, especially with a, kid in a house.
Because you have a baby, yeah.
Yeah. The kid takes a lot because whatever he asks for, of course, Daddy gives him. But recently I have dumped a lot of my money into trying to start my own little side business, you could say, I guess. I'm seeing how it goes before I make it like a legit like side business. It's not gonna be my main source of so like everybody in New England knows about ticks and mosquitoes.
Damien, that's messed up.
No, I won't sell him. He's good.
Oh man,
he's a good.
I almost spit my drink out on that one.
He's a good kid. But I bought it's a backpack. It's like a blower, but it has a spray, like a tank and a spray nozzle to spray for ticks and mosquitoes.
Nice.
And then I bought in some more lawn equipment, and was going to try to pick up some lawns on the side. I mow Mike's work now weekly.
Nice. There's that whole building your foundations, right?
Yeah,
and as you were talking,
that's crazy. I'm mind blown right now.
I looked at him when he looked and said,
"Holy crap,
dude!"
Yeah,
because I was telling Mike that I really, one of my peace and comforts and like my medicine for, you could say, like a not depression, but depression, ADHD. My comfort, my relaxation is I like being on the mower, and it's my comfort. So, and doing yard work and stuff.
So much of that went into the reading too, like the finding the comfort and the stability and you're building your foundations.
And another thing, like with the comfort and the whole thing, is one of my comforts when I wasn't married or anything was I would hop on my motorcycle. Right.
I love that.
So I recently started riding my motorcycle again, and it just didn't feel the same as before. And one of my big comforts is camping. So I looked at my wife and I said, "Hey, I want to sell my Harley for a down payment on a camper." And she goes, "Where did that come from?" I was like, "I don't know. It's more comfortable for me to go camping." We recently went camping a couple weeks ago, and I got more comfort and relaxation out of that than I did riding my Harley to work every day.
See, I love that. And there's, the things that we love in life, the things that make us comfortable change over time anyway, right? So it's more of a laid back. That's more actually you're more grounded than when you have a camper, because you're out in nature. You're going to be surrounded by all the things that keep you grounded in life.
Well, let me call it not camping, glamping.
Glamping. Either way, you're out. You're close enough to wilderness.
That's because of Angela. Angela likes the glamping part.
No, dude, Angela will go tenting.
Right.
That's where they started. But like I still love, would I ever buy a bike again? Absolutely. I still love the enjoyment of riding a motorcycle, but right now my son's gonna be 2 in a couple months, and more enjoyment comes out of camp. I can't put my son on the back of the Harley right now.
Not yet.
I could, but the law and everybody else wouldn't agree. Ratchet straps.
While you were talking, I did pull another card just to see, what path we were going down. You got the Chariot, which I don't know if you can see. He's like a Spartacus looking dude. He's on a chariot. Yeah. There's a victory in there, right? And it's not one of those, nothing's been handed to you on a silver platter or, a silver spoon, whatever. You had to work for everything, but you did it, and you did it for yourself. And that's something to be proud of. So I feel like everything that you're doing right now, you're gonna see the reward for it. You're going to see something really good come out of all this effort. So I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, 100%, Joe. Joe's comment. I tell my wife all the time, I love my wife. My wife and her family saved me. They're a gift from God, or whoever you believe in. But my son was the reason I was able to deal with a lot, especially with the death of my mother. Almost a year. But he's that's why I was late to coming out to not late on the show, but late to when you came on, as I was driving him around so he could. I wanted to make sure he was sleeping enough because, but
Damien has a question for Dani.
Will you be combining celestial events into Divination with Dani shows, or does the cosmos have different meanings for tarot cards and say oracle cards, the higher arcana cards, etc.? Okay, so I've actually been thinking, do I want to start learning more of that? Because here's the thing, every card of the major arcana, they do line up with some kind of, with the different signs. So if I can get my butt in gear and start learning that myself enough to bring it to the show and like learn it, the rest of it with everybody, it's definitely being considered. I actually thought about that today while I was at my day job. I was like goofing around on my lunch break, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It might be fun to kind of like incorporate a little bit more of like horoscopy stuff and signs, and if when there's a planetary alignment, how do I mix tarot in with that? But yeah, as of right now, we're gonna take that in baby steps. But yeah, it's definitely not off the table. So
I can see you going pretty far with this. This is gonna be, I think this is gonna be incredible.
I do.
Like, it's mind blowing.
I tell Mike every time. I'm like when we left that event, he's like, dude, where the hell did that come from? I was like, I don't know, but how the hell does Dani do it? Like, it's amazing. There's a bit in the paranormal world, in the other dimensions, or with gifts. There's people out there that go, oh, I could do this, and you're like, yeah, you can, and then you turn around and go, you're full of shit. But like I told Mike, I was like,
way to throw that out there, bro.
Sorry. Like there are but there is in anything. There's people out there. There's people out there in the car world that are like, yeah, I'm a master mechanic and can build anything. But secretly, in the closed garage doors, they're paying someone to build their shit. You know what I'm saying?
There's frauds in every facet, right? There's
exactly.
Yeah. There really
all
is.
your mechanics out there, I'm sorry. No, I'm just
then there's the people that fake it until they make it. Like they try to act big and then one day it clicks, right? So they weren't always lying. But yeah, no.
I knew someone like that. I really did. I knew someone that was like an entrepreneur. I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Okay.
Like you got $10 in your bank account. Still, like
yeah, but you're gonna be a millionaire.
But he's a good person, So it doesn't mean you're not a good person. But when we first met you, and then we found out you were doing the tarot cards, I looked at Mike. I was like, bro. Especially when we left the event that night, I was like, dude, holy shit, Dave. Mm-hmm. He goes, yeah, but where the fuck did you come from?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care, but did you hear like on the nail, like you just know, and that's where that you're really good at what you do, and you really have that gift.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot of it with tarot, right? A lot of it, and I think this is where if you can get out of your own way, anybody can read tarot. Even if it's just beginner level until they can work up. It's literally just taking what you think and trying to put that on a shelf somewhere and just letting the pictures and the feelings and whatever comes to you, like letting that flow. And I think that's the hardest part for some people. They get in their own way, right? So I think that's where Adam was flowing really good. You weren't trying to create a story. You were just looking and you just let it flow. And I think that's when your intuition kicks in. That's when whatever is out there in the cosmos that we connect with energetically, whatever that is that we're reading that we don't know that we're reading, that's when that can flow in. And that's exactly what you were doing that night. Yeah. It was wild.
The best part, everyone that's watching, Dani is also part of the Get Haunted family. And sometimes she does this at some of the events. So
Make sure tickets. You go get your tickets.
ExtremeTicketing.com. See, we'll throw that plug in there right now for Rob and Sarah.
Absolutely.
Get your tickets.
Yeah, no.
I wear my Get Haunted shirt to work and go on deliveries, and people are like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "You got to go check this out."
I have my hat on all the time, and everyone's like, "What's Get Haunted?" I said, "Check out the website. You'll see. Get your tickets."
Look at you guys. I love it.
Another thing, that you touched on is the special connection and everything, and all that. I recently delivered a tractor to a older woman. And her husband had passed away 2 years ago, and she was talking about certain things, and I just went on this, like you said, the flow and I can't say the word intuition.
That
word.
And was talking, and when I left, she was like, I just wanted to let you know, because of talk that you just had with me and the comfort and the advice that you gave me. And she goes, I'm 78 years old, and I never thought someone your age would be able to get me to feel comfortable and actually want to move on and keep going. Thanks for, she said her exact words were, thanks for not letting me give up. So that was pretty cool that you said that, because it was just like, it's nothing to do with tarot cards or paranormal or nothing. It's just that flow.
You're just in the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think about it, and this is something too, like when we have our making sense of your senses, where Rob does teach remote viewing, right? And he talks about how there's all this information out there, right? And we only process a little bit of it because we get in our own way. Our brains, I think, I'm going to talk on my ass here for a second, but like our brains are designed to like basically block out what we don't necessarily need for that moment, right? So like, but when you get out of your own way, when you get into the flow, like all that information's out there. So you're able to read people. We're all intuitive, all of us on some level, no matter how we're going to read somebody else's energy. We can all do it. It's just we tend to get in our own ways.
Yeah. You gotta, one thing I've learned a lot recently in the last couple years and stuff is that, you don't know what someone else is going through. So one word can help someone and change their life. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
One card and one advice of what your thought of what's going to happen could change their life forever.
That's why we always say, a lot of judging goes on in this world to these days, and you don't know what people are going through, and we need to bring that love and passion back to the world in general, not just the paranormal, but in general.
In general, yeah.
People are struggling every day. There's someone's always, you never know what these people are dealing with, and the love and passion needs to come back, and we need to show it.
I agree.
Judging needs to end.
I'm having a brain fart. What singer is that? Chad.
Well, while he's trying to figure that one, Damien has another question.
Oh, okay.
If it will pop up. There it goes. Everybody vibes to different locations. Which locations?
Sings to you, or do you feel a longing for a location you've not yet? So I feel like this kind of has shifted for me a little bit. Like I know when I first got into just paranormal in general, I really, for some reason, really wanted to get into the orphanage in Gettysburg, right? It was a big deal for me to get into this orphanage. And then I finally did. And it was one of those places that I felt called back to me all the time, right? So I would go, as often as I could, anytime I could get in there, even if it was just like the one company does just like a walkthrough tour of it. So even if I couldn't get in for an investigation, I would go and do the tour of it. So that was a location that really called out to me. But I feel like I'm going to mess it up because I'm being put on the spot. Is it not, help me out, Shawnee, the park?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What's the actual, like?
Oh my God, that's on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't think of the name right now. I'm having a brain fart like this one over here.
My brain just went blank, and it's one of those places where, like, I
know exactly what you're talking about too. And I can't think of.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll figure it out because I figured.
Yeah, well, it'll come to us. Like when we're on to something else, it'll come to us. But
right before we end the stream, it's gonna be like, that's it right there. No.
which you could stop and say it.
Yeah,
we don't care.
Well, to get back to Damien, though, there is one that I know that we have that both connects to both of us, and it would be White Hill Mansion in New Jersey. We connected with the place pretty. It got pretty personal. We found ourselves actually stopping there even when we're not there. And then the last investigation that we did a private there. Stephen Kometz was with us, and let's just put it this way: we're not going to go back for a while. Inside, we got pretty personal with us. There's a whole long story. I've talked about it on past shows about it, and that place is pretty.
It's an amazing place. We don't hate the place, we suggest people to go check it out.
Yes.
White Hill is amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's just for us personally, we can't go back for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break from it.
I think it's a good thing to like just get some breathing room for a little bit.
Yeah, this was the past time we investigated was investigation number 8 there for us.
Oh wow!
And it got, even Steven said it to us when we were in the trailer. I think it knows us too well now, and it knew where to hit personally.
To get it, long story short, even when I'm not there, even when Steven wasn't there, another group said to him, "Hey, do you know an Adam?" Because it called for him.
That's wild.
It's now hit personally to Mike to try to get me alone.
Yeah, I was literally in the trailer crying my eyes out, bawling my eyes out that night that we were there, because it literally got into my head too much, too personal, and so we're taking kind of a break, a couple years at least, maybe a year, who knows? Maybe we'll be back before we know it, but
it's the little break is not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's one place that definitely sings to us, I guess you could say, because it calls out for him and it touched me personally.
Even when we were there for the Paracon, it was one of those deals where I think, Adam, you were even saying, like, if you would have been able to get in there, you would have gone in.
Yeah. We went in there for a little bit just to see Mary Jo, and he had to leave. And
I had to leave because it kept on, like something just told me in the head, go to the basement, go to the basement. And I looked at Mike, I was like, he wants me to go to the basement, and he goes, no.
So this was actually a question that I was going to ask too. Joe beat me to it, but how has reading cards changed the way you investigate?
It really actually has. It's opened me up to relying more on my intuition, relying more on the gut feels, and then when I'm feeling like I'm stuck or if I feel like I'm second guessing myself, the cards come out and like it'll redirect the questioning that I ask, or it'll redirect who I think I'm talking to. And a lot of times when I do bust out the cards, I can get the equipment that's in the room can correlate with it. So it's really fun to see that it actually brings this whole other level of being able to communicate with whatever's in that room with us, right? So
that's awesome.
It's a whole other, just like, you have your recorders and your spirit boxes. We might not be able to hear a voice with it, but they're definitely talking through the cards too. And sometimes I feel like it's a little bit of a deeper connection because there's emotion that comes with it. And there's like, sometimes I'll get little visions of things. So yeah, I feel like it's opened me up to considering on a bigger level what we actually connect with,
Yep. Totally makes sense.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, you go in there and here's it and not knocking equipment. I think equipment's great and there's always going to be a place for equipment. But I know for me, when I would go in there and set up the equipment and I kind of forget who I'm trying to connect with. Right. So by the end of it, I end up talking to it. I'm actually looking at the equipment while I'm asking questions. And I'm like, I'm not interviewing the piece of equipment. There's something in the room I'm trying to connect with. And the cards bring me back to, hey, this was a person, or hey, this was an energy that's always been in the house, or so it brings it back to a deep and personal level again. And I think it gives me a bigger appreciation for whatever's going on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We find ourselves sometimes too relying on the equipment a little too much on our investigations. And I like the old school. I like to let the building talk to us, sit there, listen, use our,
that's some of my favorite moments is when you pack up everything and you just sit there, right? And you just vibe out the space. And a lot of times, you could have had a night where nothing was going off equipment wise. The second you just sit down and you mellow out, everything starts happening. And you're like, where was all this before?
Using the senses is one of my favorites. That's for sure.
Do you think, do you think that when we have all the equipment out, it becomes too distracting? We focus too much on wanting to see the equipment go off that there could be things going on in the room that we're just completely missing.
I say that all the time. I mean, there's times where we have a whole room just filled with equipment, and it's maybe we shouldn't put that much out. Maybe we should just put a little bit here and there just to see, and it's I found too, in the beginning now, our new thing is when we first investigate a place, we like to just go in there and just relax and just let the building talk to us without equipment.
Yeah.
And that's when you can start hearing things. And also, I feel like that's how we get used to that place too. Like our abilities and our senses and everything start kicking in instead of, oh my God, how come the REM pod's not going off? Or why are the lights going off? You know, so that's the one thing we love doing now is just let the building talk to us.
Oh yeah, and I feel like you get a deeper experience for it because you're able to gauge, okay, like I felt this way before I walked in, I felt this way during when something else happened. Like you're using yourself as a tool, which we're like the best piece of equipment walking into anywhere, really.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. You know?
And it's crazy. And like the way certain people interpret energy, because like everybody will pick up energy differently. Like some people might hear things, other people might see like little visions of things pop in their head. And then like there's people that we all know that where they just will know something. They don't know how they know something. But then like later on in the night, you're able to collab, like there's a word I was looking for there. It matches up with something else that's going on. You're like, oh, how the heck did they even know that? You know? So necessary distractions can make us miss things. Just like looking at a phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Cool.
It's wild. Like, or some of it, like sometimes with equipment, I'd like to put it in a different room that I'm not in. Right.
Yeah.
So like if it goes off, then I know to like, okay, we can tailor our investigation. But yeah, I kind of don't like when any of the equipment's in the room with me.
Hey, Zoe, we just had her up in New Hampshire with us last weekend at the James house.
Oh, how did that go?
It actually went really well. We sold the event out. We had 10 people, I think, show up, and great bunch of people that we had with us. It was
another place. If you guys want to, if anybody wants to check out.
Willie Hassel is the owner of it. It's the James House up in Hampton, New Hampshire, and they're actually booking private locations right now. And it's an older farmhouse. Yeah.
Oh.
And we had fun. It was a fun night.
We love going there.
We even had a campfire going outside. So during our breaks, we sat around the fire.
I had a truck bed full of wood that I need to get rid of.
Oh, I love anything to do with the fire. Oh, and then you could tell stories around the fire of things that happened.
That's pretty much what we did. Yeah. I mean, it was raining and we were all still sitting around the fire. We didn't even care.
Dude, as long as you have that fire going, it's fine.
Yeah. But yes, guys, everybody that's watching right now, check out the James House on Facebook. Willie Hassel is the owner, and he's currently booking private investigations right now. Ooh. And all the money goes back to the house to keep the upkeep on the house.
Beautiful.
He tried to give us gas money. Yeah. Not taking it.
Nope.
Tried to give us money for coming up there.
Yeah.
Not taking
put it towards the house.
Except for he did pull a fast one on us.
Yeah.
What happened?
We went to go out to eat, and when we were, I guess, I don't know if it was when we were walking up or whatever, he told the waitress not to hand us a bill.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
It is nice, but next time we go up there, we now know.
Well, you got your cars red. Yeah, now's my turn. Let's do this.
All right.
Yeah, come on. I got this.
All right. So I'm going to pull them. You're going to read them. Is that what we're doing?
Well, I'm going to read. I'm going to do it, and then you're going to tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
Oh boy. Hopefully, it has nothing to do with sticks.
So your life is going uphill.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Let's see if I'm good. Let's see if it was just a fluke.
I'm going to pull one extra card for clarification.
Oh boy. Cheers.
Ooh,
I hope I'm right.
All right, so there's 3 main cards, and then I pulled 2 extra cards to solidify. So you have your first one was the Emperor, and you have the Empress. I don't know if you can see them.
Hold on.
What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing.
He's getting 3D with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. All right, so the Emperor, got a King.
I see you have these 2, and then this was your last one.
What's the middle one again?
So the middle one, hi.
What's up, Leo?
Hey, Leo.
That's your Empress.
Okay.
All right.
And then the 2 cards I pulled just to see like the general vibe of the reading.
Yeah.
Was the 3 of Pentacles and Ace of Swords.
All right. So the first one, the King. Let's see. The first one, I think that that you're strong-hearted, you're strong-willed, and that you know what you're worth and what kind of person you are, and that no matter what, no one can take you off of your throne.
Ooh, oh, I like that.
Wow.
Now, the second one, that there's someone out there, hence the forest behind, that is going to come along and keep you on your throne and show you your worth.
Oh, I love that.
That way, you're just sitting by a tree by yourself, and I'm sorry. No. I feel like
there's so many things I could say with this one that I'm just.
Yeah. Should we go Rob's version of this?
Yeah.
Twisted?
No. Yeah, no.
I
see a lot of wood in your future.
No. So
it's a tree.
With this, I see your comfort space where you go to think and find your future.
Nice.
Okay.
You want the clarifying cards or no?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you do those.
Well, yeah.
You do those 3 first.
Okay, you want me to do these 3 first?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is if we're gonna go along with what Adam said here with
do your thing.
You just want me to just read it.
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay. So with the Emperor, you kind of like nailed that. That's like there's this stubbornness, but it's not like too stubborn. I don't know how to explain this. It's like you're very like you know what you want, you're willing to fight for it. It's one of those like protector of the realm kind of vibes, right? Like this is my kingdom. I will do what I need to make sure it's secure. So don't F with me and everything's good kind of a vibe, right? So there's that thing going on. And then the Empress is, so for as much as the Emperor, as much as this card is the, bro, don't mess with me because I will stand my ground, right? There's also, the Empress brings in that beautiful flow of like the softer energy, but not weaker, right? So there's this, the masculine's a very strong, forceful energy, and then the feminine, which these are what they represent, she's more of a flow, like goes with the flow, but very much still powerful. There is no weakness in the Empress. She is one of those women, she knows what she wants to, and she knows how to get it. But whereas the Emperor might be more like a bull, she'll find a way to like make it all jive. So you're going to have this side of I'm going to protect my kingdom, but also it's either you have a flow to you and you're like, okay, we can work things out if we need to. Everything's great. I love everything. Or someone is going to come in and be more of that softer side for you, right? So there's going to be this balance that takes place, but still strength on both sides. And for this one is a nice little reminder that, if for some reason you're getting too much of you feel like you need to butt heads with somebody, just to kind of like step it back a little bit. Remember gratitude. Remember there's 1,000,001 things to be grateful for in your day, because this guy, he's being presented with a cup and he's not looking like he's too thrilled with the thing that's in front of him. You got all these cups here. You still have options, right? So just remember that even if the very first thing that you're presented with isn't necessarily what you want, you got a lot more options. So like not to like get upset that the first thing wasn't great. Things are going to work out. You just got to remember things are really good. And I pulled the extra cards because it's hard to read this card sometimes. It can go a bunch of different ways.
Oh, let's see.
So then we had the Ace of Swords, right? And then the 3 of Pentacles. So your Ace of Swords is like, it looks like he's cutting through, like there's a sword cutting through a cloud, and there's like a lot of clarity there. And there's a wreath, there's a victory wreath and a crown, and just there's all this amazingness coming around it, right? So this is you cutting through the bullshit. This is you cutting through any kind of brain fog, any kind of things that are holding you back. You're going to have these amazing ideas. You're going to have this quick wit about you. Things are going to flow the way you need them to. And it's going to, in a way that's right for you, because their victory rate, this is very fresh. This is good energy. This is a good vibe. This is a great sense of clarity. And there might be some collaboration that comes in with this, right? This might be you're collabing with somebody, or you're talking to different friends that maybe you hadn't talked to before. Or maybe this is a special someone coming into the scene, right? It could be.
As I said, the future might be looking pretty bright there.
I mean, yeah, you have a really good future going on. Yeah, this is all about collaboration, sharing your knowledge, getting knowledge, just like that give and take, and like building together kind of a thing. So I feel like there's a lot of good energy in that.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that makes sense at all, but that's what I'm saying.
No, it does. It does.
I wasn't as good as last time.
No, but Adam, you got a lot of
you were pretty on top of that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And it's like, and that's the one thing too, like, if you see something different, always go with what you see, because they're meant for you, right? So you are going to know more about yourself than anybody else does. And a symbol might mean something different to you than it does to me. So like, always go with what you're seeing. If I'm saying something and you're like, no, she's crazy, there's no way. Or
that's pretty I mean, it's pretty on with everything that's going on right now. It makes sense. Definitely. Yeah.
Good. And like sometimes, like I know it hits for me sometimes too. Like I'll even do my daily card and I'm like, I don't even know who this is for, because it doesn't even ring true to me. And then like later on the day, something will click and I'm like, oh. Like so sometimes, like, yeah, some things.
That's why I said that. The future might be something to do with the future. The future's looking bright. That makes sense. That sounds good.
So right now, it's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's that the 1909, the original. Hold on, let me see if I can. I have this amazing little carrier case Trevor gave me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what the deck looks like when you buy it. The deck that I'm using right now, but it's cool. Rider-Waite-Smith. It's the original deck, and honestly, like anyone who's just starting in tarot, I definitely recommend. To each their own, right? And some people don't listen to this, but the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is like the one when you look up card, it is the ones that you see on the internet everywhere. They're like the staple go-to tarot deck. Those would be the ones that I recommend for everybody to start with, because when you buy your books, when you look up things online, the imagery they're using is from this deck, so it just makes it a lot easier, you know, when you're trying to learn, because the imagery is very straightforward. It's very easy to read symbolism.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to know. Anyone that's interested in it or watching right now that's wanting to get into it, here you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, if they need any advice, don't contact me.
Don't contact you. Contact Dani Marie. So now to the paranormal side of things.
Yeah.
What did you have any experiences when you were younger that got you into the whole investigating?
Yeah, I had a lot of experiences. I feel like that cliche, I grew up in a haunted house, right? But I really did.
I'm pretty sure everybody did back in the day. That's
right.
That's all the paranormal investigators.
I did.
We lived in a haunted house.
Right, because it's what makes you interested. But the thing is, like, no one really talked, especially like our age groups, nobody really talked about it, right? It was kind of like a thing where if you talked about it, you weren't taken seriously, or it was one of those don't talk about it in public.
Or they thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
The earliest one I can remember, I was young. I was anywhere from like 6 to 8 years old, in that range, right? Because it's getting hard for me to remember exactly how old I was, but in that range. And I had, gotten ready for bed. I was in bed, and in the middle of the night, I got ripped off of my bed. Like something grabbed my arm and pulled me out of my bed to the point where I was like on the ground, like halfway under my bed. I was like, what did I roll out of bed? But then I looked down and there was this really big, like when you grab somebody and like it leaves a mark.
Yeah.
I had a really big, like bigger than my handprint on my arm. And I ran into my parents' room. They were both sleeping. So it was like there were no random adults in the house. Like, no, I don't know what pulled me off of my bed, but so that was the first thing that I couldn't explain. I had a mark and it took a little bit to go away. And so I slept on my parents' floor for like a week while I was sleeping on their floor. And I was still too scared to go into my room. So I just kind of like toughed it out with what was going on there. So they had this really cool, like you opened up the closet, it like was these weird folding doors, right? And they were kind of like they were open enough that someone could walk through them. And I saw what looked to me, it looked exactly like a farmer and a German Shepherd would walk out of it. And this happened a couple of times during that week. And like, I couldn't really pull all the detail, but I could tell it was a farmer. I could tell the dog was a German Shepherd. They would come out and like dissipate. And I'm like, huh, okay. So like, I don't know, is that an overactive child's imagination? Maybe, but like all the little hairs on my little arms were standing up. I was freaked out. I couldn't go back to sleep. So there was a lot of random things like that I couldn't really explain. We would hear random voices. My brother would complain that there was a little girl playing a flute. I was the only little girl in the house at that time, and I didn't know how to play a flute. I didn't even know a flute. So the fact that my brother would come downstairs after playing in our playroom and complain to my mom that there was a little girl playing the flute again, make her stop. There's like some really random things that would happen in our house. So that really is what sparked like, what is this? Why are there things that we can interact with that we don't always see? Or if we see it, not everyone sees it. Or like, how does something move? We had, at one point, we were redoing the one family room and a pair of pliers went flying right past my dad's face. Like,
wow.
Nobody threw those. Like, we would have random, So that's what got me started looking.
Got you hooked.
Yeah, I was just like, awesome. I don't know what that is, but now I need to know, so.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Now you're also part of the Get Haunted family, which you've been on some amazing investigations, but what is your number one go-to location?
So it's actually kind of become New Egypt. You've been to New Egypt. We've been there together.
Yeah, we were there with you. Yeah.
I have no clue.
New Egypt Historical Society. Museum.
Yes.
Sorry. I honestly wasn't sure what I was going to think of this place. So it's not a huge location. It's like a normal, it's a house sized.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got amazing artifacts and all this like it's got a lot of rich history, right? Like each room has these amazing setups and like all these little placards and stuff and cases, amazing for historical value. And I was just like, the first time we went, I'm like, this is really cool. I don't know what we're gonna get here because like when you first walk in, it's so cozy, right? It's such a cozy place when you first walk in.
It really is.
Doesn't like nothing's really gonna jump out and scare. Well, okay, yeah. And then you get in the basement. There's this weird vibe in the basement, right? And I got my biggest Scooby-Doo moment up in the attic, right? I felt so embarrassed for that one. Oh my god! But
I remember you were up in the attic with a group, and me and Adam were down in the basement, and we heard the walking on the main floor. I messaged you immediately and was like, did one of your guys come down from the group? And you're like, no. I'm like, there's legit, like you can hear like a whole set of footsteps. Yeah. Like if a couple people are walking on the main floor. And then just the activity just comes out of nowhere. Like you said, you walk in there and you're like, okay, this is interesting, and then all of a sudden it just goes.
The first time me and Mike went there to do.
Yeah, we met Mike Castro there. We were in one of his magazines, and he did an interview
for the magazine.
And he let us investigate afterwards.
But when we walked in there, I'm like, Mike, we could go to bed. This is like this is haunted. Nice. And then Mike and his buddy went to eat.
As soon as they left us, everything flipped upside down. What is going on right now?
Mike, I was like, I fucking changed my mind.
We didn't even make it to the basement that night.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We literally stayed on the main floor and then we went upstairs.
You didn't make it to the basement. I went down there to put the pump.
Yeah.
And I came right upstairs. Dude. I was like, yeah, we're done. We go upstairs.
That was crazy.
You don't feel alone in that basement at all. Like
No.
No,
that's cool. Yeah, that's
the only person place. I wish I had in the basement that one time is Ozzy.
Yeah, for all the bats.
Yeah, the one
bat. Yeah, one bat down there
that attacked me.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe it's because I was holding the flashlight, but like everybody's like, "Whoa, you see the bat?" I'm like, "Yeah, I felt him." Boom.
Oh,
yeah, there was a bat down there at the time.
But then we said everybody else went back down there to look at it at the event when we did with you.
What? Oh, that's when the bat was?
Yeah, you remember?
No, I don't remember the bat, dude.
Was that what?
Yes, it was because.
Oh, okay.
The there was the twins there that made the really good cookies.
Oh yeah, yes, I do remember that. Now. I didn't realize it was a bat that day. Okay,
yeah,
that was
that's why. What's the guy? What's his name?
Matt Linker was there.
Yes,
Matt Linker was there.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, Danny
Oh
was live. Was amazing.
I did go live.
Find out more about Roger.
I thought I was going live for Get Haunted, and I ended up going live on my own page instead. And I'm like, how come
I do that all the time?
Yeah, I was live on the wrong page. But yeah, no, I can't remember if we ever got anything else on Roger. But that one room that we were in with all the dolls that are set up.
Oh, yep.
I don't even know
Mike's favorite room.
I hate dolls. I'm not a fan of dolls.
Same, bro.
Nope.
And my wife will let me bring my grandmother's porcelain dolls. They're in the basement.
Oh, are they really?
They can stay down there.
This is the basement from the basement.
Oh,
technically, if you were in the basement, but this is the second living room.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at that time. We want to thank you so much for coming on and being our guest. Can you let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah.
Yes, you can find me. You can find me on Facebook at Divination with Dani. My show will be coming back June 1st. You can tune in. You can either find me through my Facebook page. My YouTube is Divination with Dani, or you can find me on the Get Haunted Network with the Paranormal Podcast program.
Yep. And catch her at some live Get Haunted events coming up too.
Yes.
Go check out Get Haunted.
Yes.
Go on Extreme Ticketing.
Extreme Ticketing for all the events coming up, and then gethaunted.com for some awesome merchandise there.
Yeah.
Rob's releasing right now. Yeah. Some good merchandise. Check it out. But came to that time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And we will definitely see you again soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to thank everybody that's watching.
Yep.
And remember, if you see a veteran or an active person in the military or Air Force or anything, make sure you thank them this weekend.
Yes. All right, Dani. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you for having me on.
No problem.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
All right. Well, another episode in the books. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight and watching the show. Amazing guest. Dani's amazing. Like I said, she's like a sister to us. But another one coming up. Friday, June 20th, we have Mark Brown coming on from, hold on, wait for it, Bells and Badasses Paranormal. I believe this is one of his first podcast to come on. I've been begging him. Everyone's been begging him. And I think he's a little excited. We just talked to him the other day and can't wait to have him on. So mark your calendars. Friday, June 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Head over to our Facebook page, Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal. You can check out where we are, where we're coming up. A couple of private investigations coming up. Starting back up in September. We took the summer off.
Yeah.
Also, again,
we might just...
There might be a couple little tweaks to our schedule. You never know. And the one thing I can say right now is head on over to extremeticketing.com. Yeah. Get those Get Haunted tickets to their upcoming events because you might just see us there. Yeah. You never know.
There might be a time where we're just sitting, hanging out, doing nothing, and go, hey, Mike.
Yep.
There's a Get Haunted event.
Let's
go.
And also, again, thank you to the Get Haunted Paranormal podcast program for having us on their show Monday through Sunday, literally 7 days a week. There's a podcast. Not all day, but like afternoon and nighttime. Yes. Amazing, including Dani's show coming back on June 1st. Check them all out. Incredible shows. Some paranormal, some mixed with paranormal and other topics, but great people. Yes. All the podcasts are awesome. And with that being said, happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone out there that's serving the country. You're amazing. Thank you for what you do.
And for all the
soldiers
that lost their life.
Yep.
So we can have this weekend.
Yep.
And every day and everything we do.
Rest in peace to them.
Yes, rest in peace and thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely. With that being said, have a good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Be safe.
We'll see you Friday, June 20th.